Source of supply. The topics that we are going to cover there, we will see what are the different types of purchase info records. What are the different types of purchase info records we have. We see what is grass plant and plant specific purchase info records, how the conditions are maintained in the purchase info records. We will see what is buyer's negotiation sheet. Okay, then we will see different types of contracts. Okay, then we will see central and plant specific contracts, how to maintain item categories in the contracts we will see. Then we will understand about contract release orders, and then we will see scheduling agreements. So these are the topics we will be covering in the source of supply. Okay, so what is source of supply? Okay, for defining relationships between materials and vendors in the system, data records are to be maintained. Okay, these data records are generally referred to as source of supply. So when you are creating a purchase order, when you are creating a purchase order for a material and a supplier, a vendor, I want the data to be come from a particular sources. Okay, like price, delivery date. So those things has to come by from a particular source. So those sources are called source of supply. Source of supply. Okay, so outline agreement is a long-term purchasing agreement with vendor containing terms and conditions regarding the material that is supplied by vendor. So there is an outline agreement. There is an outline agreement. This outline agreement will contain a agreement between the vendor with our purchasing department. So that is it's a purchasing agreement. Okay, so possible sources of supply are purchase information record, purchase info record, outline purchase agreements like contracts, and scheduling agreements. We will discuss all these things in detail. Okay, so purchase information record. What is purchase information record? It contains data on a certain material and supplier of this material. Okay, purchase info record will contain information about a particular material and supplier of that particular material. Okay, coming to outline agreements, other outline agreements are you have contracts, and you have scheduling agreements. We will discuss all these things in the system. Okay, first we'll start with the these are the sources of supply. Whenever you create a purchase order, your purchase order can refer to a info record, purchase information record, or it can refer to a outline agreement like contract for a particular contract with the vendor, or a scheduling agreement with the vendor. So these are the possible sources of supply where system can refer when you are creating a purchase order. Okay, so let's start with the purchase info record. What is purchase information record? Purchase info records are information about terms for purchasing a specific material from a vendor. Okay, so the purchase information record will contain information for a particular material and vendor combination. Okay, they are maintained for vendor and material combination and can contain data for pricing and conditions, over delivering, under delivering, limits, planned delivery date, and availability period. So basically here you will have information for a combination of material and a vendor. Okay, there are 4 types of info records: standard, subcontracting, pipeline, and consignment. Today we will create standard info record. Remaining info records we will see in the later classes. Okay, the purchase info record is an important source of information for the buyer. It's for the purchaser, the purchasing officer, he will have a source of information from this purchasing info record. Okay, so when creating the purchasing documents, the data from the info record is copied into the document as default values. So whenever you are creating a purchase order, if the purchase info record exists, the data from the purchase info record will get copied to the purchase order. Okay, so this is a one. So basically purchase info record will contain information for a combination of material and a vendor. Okay, like what is the price when you procure this material from this vendor, from this vendor what is the price, okay, and what is the freight charges, what is the discount, all that information you will maintain in the purchase info record. Okay, so the scenario is like this. Let's say in your company you have a material. Okay, let's say the material is ABC123. This same material is procured from, let's say, different vendors. Let's say vendor A, vendor A, vendor A, vendor B, vendor B, and vendor C, and vendor and what do you call vendor C. Okay, the same material is procured from three different suppliers. So when the same material is procured from vendor A, this vendor charges, let's say, 80 euros per piece. Let's assume a scenario. Okay, per piece. Now same material when it's procured from vendor B, this vendor B charges 75 euros per piece. Okay, now same material when it is procured from vendor C, he charges, let's say, 78 euros per piece. Now when you are creating the PO, I want this price to come by default into the purchase order. Okay, so during that scenario you go for purchase info record. So in the purchase info record of this ABC and vendor A, you maintain this specific price. So when you create a PO for ABC123, ABC123 and combination of vendor A, system automatically fetch the price 80 euros. System will automatically fetch the price provided you create a purchase info record for this combination. Okay, so that is the use of purchasing info record. Okay, so in the purchase info record, you maintain the data in various sections. You maintain in general data some data, and you maintain some data in the purchasing data tab screen, and you maintain condition data like price and everything, discount, and you can maintain some texts also. So in the purchasing, for the structure of a purchase info record is divided into 4 sections: general data, purchasing data, conditions data, and text. So whenever you are creating a purchase info record, system will read some data from material master record and vendor master record. It will propose, which you can overwrite. And even you can create a purchase info record with referring to a quotation, outline agreement, or referring to a already existing purchase order also. Okay, this I will show you in later point of time. Okay, so now to create the purchase order, the transaction codes are like this. To create the purchase info record, the transaction codes are ME11. ME11 is creation, ME12 is change, and ME13 is the display. These are the transaction codes. Okay, so now let's create a purchase info record in the system. Okay, I'm logging on to the system. Okay, I logged on to the system. So go to logistics, materials management, purchasing. Okay, master data. You have info record. So open it. Here you have ME11 create info record. This is a screen where you create info record. You can create 3 types of info records, 4 types: standard, subcontracting, pipeline, and consignment, which I have shown you previously. Standard, subcontracting, pipeline, and consignment. But as of now, today we will create only standard info record. So here purchase info record is created for a combination of material, vendor, material, purchase organization, and plant combination. Okay, so I'll take a vendor from our this thing. Okay, we will take this vendor, Alliance Global 100646. This is a vendor. I will take a material which is already there. I'm taking a raw material. Okay, I'll take this one, this hydrochloric acid. This one I'm taking. Okay, so I'll take this material. So enter the material code. Purchase organization I'm using 1000. Okay, and plant always I'm using 1000 plant. Plant is also 1000. So I'm creating info record for this vendor and for this material combination. Now enter. Okay, so I'll put it in a my material is now my material is this one. This is my material. Okay, this material, and my vendor is 100646. Okay, so here if you see, the moment I enter inside, you see create info record general data. We are here now. It is we are maintaining the general data. We are maintaining the general data. Okay, here you can maintain the vendor material number. Vendor material number means this is our material number in our organization. Material number in the vendor at his site, he may have his own number. I'll maintain it as 712345. This is vendor material number. I'm just entering randomly. Okay, now you can enter other unit. Just 1 minute, just give me 1 minute. I'll make some changes in the material master. Just give me 1 minute. Just 1 minute. Okay, unnecessary confusion. Okay, let me start again afresh. Start again freshly. Okay, again I'm creating. Enter. Okay, so now I'm creating this info record for this vendor and this material combination. So my vendor is 100646. So we are on the general data screen. Here I enter the vendor material number. Okay, you can enter other data. You can enter other data. Now next is you go to purchasing data, purchase organization data. So click on the button purchasing organization data 1 tab. Click on that button. Now we are on the purchasing organization data 1. Here by default system is proposing planned delivery days time as 4 days. So from where this planned delivery time 4 days is coming? This is coming from the material master. That is why I told you, whenever you are creating a info record, system will first propose the data from the material master record and vendor master record, where you can overwrite the data. See, as of now, the planned delivery time is coming by default. Okay, so if you go to the material master of the material, if you go to display, if you go to the purchasing tab, if you go to the purchasing data tab, this is the one purchasing. That's okay. If you go to MRP2 view, see here we maintained planned delivery time as 4 days. Planned delivery time. That is why system by default proposing here in the info record as 4 days. But let's say this vendor supplies this material in, let's say, 5 days. So I enter 5 days. I'm overwriting the data. Now the next one is you maintain the price. Here you see you have to maintain the price. So let's say I'll maintain the price as 80, or let's put this as INR. Okay, let's put this as INR. 80 INR per piece or liter. Here in our case it is liter. Okay, so I'll maintain it as 80. Enter. Okay, purchasing group, it's okay, enter. So I maintained the price. Now you can go to the next one is conditions. You can maintain some conditions. Okay, so just click on the button condition. Now here you can maintain. See, as of now the gross price is maintained 80 INR. This is valid from today's date to this date. Okay, you can maintain some other ones, some discount. I'll maintain some discount. I'll maintain some discount percentage on grass. Okay, so I'll maintain 2%. So I maintain that. Now go back. So this is a place where you maintain the gross price. Now go back. Okay, now you can maintain some text. Okay, so click on the button text. Okay, you can write some text over here. Okay, you can write some text over here. Okay, or material be supplied, just you can write some information to the vendor. Material to be supplied in drums. Okay, so I'm just writing some remarks, drums. Okay, or I'll put this also in the same text. I'll put it here also. So I maintain the data. So you can maintain some text information for the buyer. Okay, so now we maintain all the data. We maintain general data, whatever you want. Conditions we maintained, conditions nothing but prices. Okay, and then we maintained, what do you call, if you go back, we maintained text also. Now here one more option is, if you go to the conditions, you can maintain scale prices also. Okay, I'll do one thing. I'll delete this discount as of now. Okay, so now this price is for any quantity. This price is for any whatever the quantity you procure from that supplier, it applies this price. Now let's say quantity specific, I want to maintain the price. So if you go here, there is a button called scales. Are you able to see? There is a button called scales. Click on that button. Now you can maintain scale wise prices. Let's say when I procure up to 50, okay, my price should be 70. Okay, enter. Okay, when I procure from 50 to 100, my price should be 65. Okay, now when I procure above 150, it should be 60. Okay, in a below 50, it should be 80. So this kind of scale prices also you can enter in the info record. Okay, now go back. Now I am saving the info record. I am saving the purchase info record. So this is how now the purchase info record got created. Now let's go to display. Change mode. Okay, let's go to display. So now let's go to display. Now we will see the effect of purchase order. This purchase info record effect we will see. So whenever you are creating a PO for this vendor and this material combination in that particular plant, system will read the data from the info record and it will propose everything. Conditions, it will propose the conditions and everything it will propose. So now I'll create a PO. I'll be creating a purchase order ME21N. This already we discussed in the previous class, how to create a PO. So let me enter the vendor. I'm entering a vendor. Enter. Okay, enter the purchase org, purchasing group, company code. I entered. Okay, now I'm entering the material. So what is our material? Material is this. Our material is this one. Okay, our material is this one. So let's enter the material. Okay, let me enter the material. Now let me enter the quantity as 30. Okay, my plant is 1000. Okay, now enter. See what happened here. System automatically proposing the price from the info record 80 INR. The system is automatically proposing 80 because we have maintained. If you go to the conditions, we maintained 80. Of course, till 50 it is 80 INR per liter. So system is automatically reading the info record and it is proposing the price here. And even if you see the delivery date, it is proposing 25th. 5 days from today's date. It is proposing the delivery date also. Okay, so this is how system will read the info record. Now if you go to the text, there is a tab called text here. If you go to the text, see, you can see whatever the data we maintained in the info record, material to be supplied in drums, it is automatically coming over here. Are you able to see? It is coming automatically. So whenever you are creating the PO for that vendor and material combination, provided if you have info record, system will read the info record and it will propose you all the data. So that for the purchasing officer, no need to enter all this data again and again. Okay, so this is the use of purchase info record. Now suppose, let's say I will not change this. Now I will increase the quantity to 60 liter. Now the moment I increase it 60 liter, you see what will happen. See, the moment I increase the 60 liter, system has changed the price to 70. 70 INR. Because in the scale prices, if you go to the scales, from 50 to 100, my price should be 70 liter per INR, 70 INR per liter. That is why system by default, it is now proposing 70. Now if I change this quantity to 120, now you see. Now system is proposing the price as 65. Okay, so based on the scale price you maintained, system will read it and it will propose you the price in the purchase order. Okay, so this is the importance of info record. So this is what, whenever you create a purchase order, system will check whether info record exists or not. If yes, system will read the info record and it will propose all the price and everything into the PO. And if there is no info record, then system will search if there are already any existing purchase orders, and it will propose the data from the last purchase order. And if there is no info record, and if there is no last purchase order, then if both conditions are not satisfied, then if there is nothing is there, then you have to enter the price manually. User has to enter the price manually in the purchase order. So this is how system, whenever you are creating the PO, system will look for the data in the system. Okay, so now let's move on. This is what, now whenever you are, now info record we have created as of now for a vendor, material and purchase organization and plant combination. So whatever the price you maintain, system will copy that price to the purchase order. Sometimes you can maintain a info record for a vendor, material and purchasing combination only, no plant. So in that case, whenever you create a purchase order, whatever the plants belongs to this purchase organization, for all those plants the price will get copied. So that means you are creating a centralized info record here without referring to any plant. That means on the screen, I'll go back. So again, when you are creating the info record, okay, here you don't give the plant. Only give vendor, material and purchase organization, you enter. So now we are creating a centralized info record. That also can be done. Okay, so according to that, it will propose the price into the purchase order. Okay, suppose if you see here, for this vendor and material 1 in the purchase organization, in the plant 3000, they maintained price as 9. So when you create purchase order for this combination, it will propose you the price as 9. Whereas you have one more info record for same vendor A, material 1 in the purchase organization 1000, but there is no plant. That time the price is 10. So when you create a purchase order in other plant, system will read this info record and it will propose you the price. Okay, so both can be both ways are possible. Okay, now next one, what are the options for maintaining the info records? So info records can be maintained in two ways. Okay, you can manually create or change an info record for a purchasing organization or plant. Either you can create manually, which I have shown you, the transaction M11, or you can change by going to ME12. That is a manual method. Now one more thing is, you can create purchase info records automatically also. Purchase info records can be also be created or updated automatically by setting the info update indicator when maintaining a quotation, purchase order or outline agreement. So purchase info records can be created automatically also. Okay, so I'll show you that. This is a one manual which we have discussed just now, or it can be created automatically from a PO, quotation or outline agreement. I'll show you that how to create automatically. Okay, suppose let's take another vendor. Let us take another vendor. Okay, So before that, uh, automatic update, that is okay. So let's create manual ones we already discussed. Now automatic ones we will discuss. So let's take one more vendor. If I go to M11, if I go to M11, this vendor we already have. I'll take one more vendor. So this vendor we have. Let's say we have plus chemicals 100649. So suppose if I go to 100649, we have this vendor. Okay, this is a vendor. Now for this vendor and for this material, there is no info record. Suppose if I try to display, what is a new vendor? 100649. Now if I go to plant 1000, if I enter, see, system says no info record for vendor and material does not exist. So it is not there. Now instead of creating manually, you can create from the one of the documents which I showed you, either PO or from a PO or a quotation or an outline agreement. So I'll show you how to create that. So if I go to, I'll try to create a PO, ME21N. I'll use the new vendor now. 100649. Enter the vendor. Enter the purchase of purchasing group, company code, material. I'll enter the material. Okay. I'm entering the material. I enter some quantity into this plant 1000. Enter. See, now as there is no info record, you have to maintain the price. As there is no info record, you have to maintain the price. So let's say I'll maintain the price as 50 INR per liter. I maintained this. Now, if you go here, you see there is an indicator called info update. Are you able to see? There is an indicator called info update. Now, when I save this purchase order, system in the background automatically will create a info record for this vendor and this material combination. System will automatically create. Now let's check. Okay, I'll check. Let me save this. Okay, so I created a PO. Now using this PO, system automatically in the background, now it will create a purchase info record. So let's check that. I'll go back. Okay, what was the vendor? This is a new vendor. This is a material. Okay, now let's check. See, now the automatically the info record got created in the background. Automatically it got created. Okay, so now if you go to the purchase order data, it got created. Only thing is price is not updated. You have to update the price over here. So I'll update the price. Text you have to maintain, because in the PO there is no text, so you have to maintain the text. So that is how system will create the info records in the background automatically. Okay. Now the next one we will be discussing is automatic and info record updates. Now purchase info records can also be updated manually. So let's say you go to the transaction, you have this info record. Okay, I'll save this. Now if you want to change some data, you go to change, and here you can update the data as per your requirement. Let's say I want to change the price. Go to conditions. Let's say I want to put a new price. So put the cursor here. Click on the button create with new reference, with new validity period. Okay. So let's say for the next till this year, or let us put up to till this year. What do you call 31/12/2018, my price should be, let's say 55 INR. So I maintain two prices from today's date to till this date. This is the price, and after that the price will be 50. So that kind of condition valid related prices also you can maintain. So now I am saving this. So this way you can maintain. Okay, you can update. Now the other method is you can update the info records automatically from a purchase order or from a quotation, provided you activate this indicator info update. So whenever you do activate this info update, system will automatically update the prices, everything into the info record. Let's say your current price is some let's say 450 INR or euros per piece. Okay, now in the quotation or purchase order you enter the new price. So when you activate this info update, this new price will get updated into the purchase info record. That's what will happen. So to do this info record automatic update, you have to do some settings in the system. Okay, so basically there is a configuration called create profile. This create profile is there. In this create profile you have to maintain the setting, and this create profile setting, whatever the profile you create, that has to, you have to assign it to the user in the user parameters. I'll show you this is a configuration. Actually we will discuss configuration later point of time, but here you need to understand the configuration. Go to SPRO, SAP reference IMG. Okay, so go to materials management, open it. Okay, materials management, go to purchasing. Okay, go to purchasing, then go to environment data. Okay, here default values for buyers. Here you go, default values, define default values for buyers. If you go here, settings for default values, if you go here you have some default values already. Okay, if you go here, go to details, you have this one. Okay, so what I will do is I'll create a brand new one. Click on new entries. I'll create a brand new one. I'll enter my name 7_new. I'll create this one. Now here info record update indicator is there. Here if you see the list, no update, update with or without plant. Okay, update with plant, if no plant ban, update without plant. You have three options. So as of now I'll put update with or without plant A. Okay, enter. Now save this default value profile. Okay, it's a configuration. It will ask for a transport request. Okay, continue. Local request or not transport. Okay, not a problem. Okay, that's okay. Now this default value profile you will be assigning to your user parameters. So every user will have a user parameter. Okay, every user will have an ID. For that ID you will assign a user profile. So in that you will maintain this parameter. Okay, so I'll show you that. So let's say my ID is what is my ID? QM user. This is my user ID. So if you go to SU01, my ID is QM user. Go enter your ID, go to change mode. You are not authorized. This is a problem here. Okay, this I cannot show. I think they have not. Okay, SU01. This is a problem. I cannot display. Okay, I'll show it in display. But it is not allowing to change. I think you're not authorized to change users in group. Okay, anyhow, I'll show you that. If you go to parameters, here you will add that parameter. Okay, you will add that parameter here. You will add that parameter as EVO. Enter the parameter as EVO and the value as SA, which I have just created. So once you do that, what happens is when you create a PO, in the PO, if this automatic info update will be there, and that will update the prices or whatever the conditions to the info record. That's what happened. I wanted to show, but I cannot enter here. This is a training system, right? So they have not given me the authorization to change my group. Okay, so but this is the place where you assign that parameter value. So once you do that, you can automatically update the info records from a purchase order or a quotation. That is also can be done. Okay. So now the next topic next thing we'll be discussing is info record for material group. Okay. So you can create an info record for a material group also. That means without a material. Okay. So suppose let's say you have a vendor, you have a purchase organization, of course you have the plant, but you don't know the material. There are some materials in common. For them, the price is always same. Price is always same. Like some office supplies or some notepad something. So let's say your office materials, some let's say your what do you call papers, notebooks or something. Always price remains the same. So now instead of maintaining info record for each material separately, you can maintain info record for a material group also. Okay, so I'll show you material group. I'll take a material group. Come out of this. So let's, if I go here, if I go to MM02, I'll go to a material, or let's do one thing. Let's go to MM60 only. I'll go to MM60. Okay, here you see there is a material group is there. Suppose if I go to material group, I'll enter all the material, I'll search the material groups in the system. Okay, so if I go to the material groups, let me take, okay, let me take this one. What do you call electrical supply, or let me take monitor. Let me take, where is it, monitor? Monitor. Or let me take this cable. Okay, or let us take monitor. Where is monitor? Monitor is not showing. Let's say chemicals, or let's say chemicals. Okay, so all these chemicals, let's say assume a scenario, all these chemicals which are having material group, all these chemical materials are having the same price. Okay, so now instead of maintaining the price for each and info record for each and every material separately, you can create a, what do you call, info record for a material group also. So what I will show you is, now let's create a brand new info record. So go to M11. Here you enter the vendor. Don't enter the material. Don't enter the material. Enter purchase organization and plant. Okay. Now enter. Here enter test PIR. Test PIR for material group. Material group. Okay, enter that one. Now see, the moment you don't have material here, it is asking you to enter the material group. So I'll enter the material group. I'll enter the material group as 004. 004. I enter the material group. Enter. Now it will asking you to enter the order unit. I'll enter the order unit as liter. Search term. I'll enter the search term 7999. Enter. Okay, now plant delivery time. It is asking you to enter the plant delivery time. I'll enter the plant delivery time. Now I'll enter some price. So let's say I'll enter the price as 25 INR per liter. Okay, purchasing group. Okay, enter. Done. That's okay. Now you can maintain text also. If you want to maintain text, you can maintain. So we maintained all the data, general data, condition data, and all the other data. Now I am saving this info record. That means we created an info record without reference to any material. We created this info record. Okay, so let's go to change mode. This is an info record we have. Now, when I'm trying to create a PO, ME21 here. When I'm trying to create a PO, what was the vendor? 100649. 100649. Enter. Purchase org, purchasing group, company code. Okay. Now here if you scroll to right, here you see there is a option called info record. So when you enter the info record, system will give the details from this info record to the purchase order. It will copy the details from this info record to the purchase order. So select the info record. Now enter here that info record. Of course, you can search from the list also. Now enter. See, all the data got copied from the info record. Okay. Suppose now if you can enter the material, or enter the plant. See, now the price also got copied here. Okay, so this way you can use the purchase info record. You can create a purchase info record for a material group also. Okay, so that way it is possible. Now after this, either you can enter the material code or you can enter the account assignment category. If there is no material, if you are procuring a consumable material, you will maintain the account assignment category, which we discussed in the previous class, which we already discussed. Okay, so you can create an info record for a material group also. That means without any reference to any material, that also possible. Okay, now the next one is price change in the info record. Okay, how to change the prices in the info record. Okay, now let's say currently, let's say you have an info record. Okay, maintained for 2 materials. The price is this one. After certain period, your vendor informed that he is increasing the price by 5%. Normally, what we will do, we will go to each and every info record and we will change it manually. Instead of that, you can change the price in the info record at one shot, provided the change percentage is same. That is also can be done. So price change in the info record can be done in in mass. Okay, so this can be done. I'll show you. We have created one info record, right? We have created one info record. I'll create another info records. Just give me 1 minute. What are our vendors? We have created for 100646. We created. I'll create for one more info record for a different vendor. Suppose let's go back. M11 is already there. 100646. It is already there. Now let's create for 100 same material. Achha, sorry, we have to have a different material, right? Vendor. So okay, let's do one thing. Let's take this vendor 100646. I'll remove this info record. I'll use a different material now. Let me use, just go back. I'll use a different material now. What material we used already? 201. So now let's say I will use 205. 205 I will use. I'll create for a different material. Same vendor is same, different material. Okay, I'm creating info record. Okay, and same. This is also same problem. Just 1 minute. Just 1 minute. Just give me 1 minute. Okay, done. Let's me create again brand fresh. It is taking again. Okay, order unit, I'll put it in liter only. Okay, so here I will enter go to conditions. I'll enter the price. Let's say I'll enter the price as 60 INR per liter. 60 INR per liter. Okay, so we have one more info record. So for this material and for this vendor, you have the this one, and you have same material. Okay, what was a new vendor? What was a new material? 205. what we maintained the price as 50 INR. This was we maintained 50 INR. Okay, and for this combination, what was the price we maintained? Just 1 minute. Let's go to display again. Okay, what was the initial material? 201, right? 201. 646 is the vendor. Okay, go inside. If you go to condition, what was the price? 80 INR. 80 INR. Okay, 80 INR. Now your vendor says after certain period he is going to increase the what do you call, price by 5%. Let's say he told us to increase the price by 5%. Then you can change it in mass. So the transaction code is MEKP. 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 Go to this transaction. Price change involving vendor info record. So enter the purchase order, enter the vendor, enter your materials. My materials are this one. Or if you don't enter the materials also, not a problem. System will read all the info records of this vendor. Okay. Now here condition type. Which condition type we are going to change? PP00. Okay. Now I want to change it by 5%. 5%. Okay. Enter that one. Validity period you enter. You enter validity period. Okay. Now remove this test run indicator. Remove the test run indicator. Okay. Now just execute. When I execute, system will read all the info records of this vendor and it will change the price by 5%. It will increase the price by 5%. Okay. Plus sign means increase. Here you have see we have maintained plus sign. Plus sign means it will increase the price by 5%. So now let's execute. Please enter gross price indicator or condition type. Okay, sorry. Let's deselect this. Let's deselect this. Okay, and now execute. We have maintained PP00 only, right? PP00, both have PP00. Okay, so now execute. So system is reading the two info records. Now it will increase the price. So now I am saving this. So condition saved. Now let us go and check whether the price has really increased or not. So let's go back. Okay, so first vendor we will check. First vendor and first material we will check. 201. Okay, now if you go inside, go to conditions. See, price is increased by 5%. Initially it was 80 INR. Now it is increased by 5%. It has become 84 automatically. That means we have increased it actually. Okay, now let's check for the next info record. You see this next info record is 205. 205. If you go to that info record, go to conditions. See, it is increased by 63. We maintained 60. Of course, scale prices I think might be okay. So it is increased by another 5%. So this is how system will increase the price change for the info records. You can increase. Okay.